A very warm welcome to Aaj Savere. May you all have a beautiful morning. But to make your mornings a little bit more stylish, we have an awesome duo with us. But before that, thought of the day. फैशन सिर्फ कपड़े में मौजूद नहीं होता है. फैशन आकाश में है, गली में है. फैशन विचारों के साथ काम करने में है. यह जीने का तरीका है. कोको शनेल, विख्यात फ्रेंच फैशन डिजाइनर. Fashion is not something that exists in dresses only. Fashion is in the sky, in the street. Fashion has to do with ideas, the way we live, what is happening. Coco Chanel, famous French fashion designer. आज सवेरे में आप सभी का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है और आज हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं फैशन डिजाइनर शांतनु एंड निखिल. इनके बारे में आप सभी ने काफी कुछ सुना होगा, पढ़ा होगा, देखा होगा. They are responsible of this amalgamation of West and India and giving twist to saris and lehengas, and we all love their outfits. To know them a little more, we have them with us in the studios today. A very warm welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
You both were studying your respective courses in America, and from there on, what happened that you came into fashion industry?
We both are brothers first by blood. हमारा relationship है. हम अमेरिका भी एक ही समय पे गए थे. ये अलग बात है कि मैं अपना MBA करने गया था in finance from Ohio State University. Nikhil masters in fashion करने गए थे. At any point in time, कभी भी we never thought कि we will come together.
Right.
Because we had two different paths. We were chalk and cheese as kids, as brothers, as siblings. But एक दिन एक ऐसा समय आया कि निखिल ने मुझे अपनी graduation के लिए बुलाया था LA देखने के लिए final collection, और collection में इतना दम था और इनको standing ovation मिला. इन्होंने बड़ी clean philosophy of East meets West की वहाँ पे डाली, जो वेस्टर्न कंट्री में कभी शायद ऐसा देखा नहीं गया. एंड आई थिंक मैं सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के अपनी नौकरी वोकरी सब छोड़ के एक गट फीलिंग के साथ गया कि अगर हम इसको इंडिया में जाकर मार्केट नहीं कर पाया तो फिर इट विल बी डिप्राइविंग इंडिया ऑफ इट्स मॉडर्न थॉट्स एंड फिलोसफी. एंड आई थिंक आई टुक दैट लीप ऑफ फेथ एंड मैं इंडिया 2000 में वापस आया. एंड आई टोल्ड निखिल के देखते हैं कुछ सेटअप करता हूँ, लेट मी फिगर आउट, चलेगा तो आई विल कॉल यू, इफ नॉट आई विल कम बैक टू अमेरिका. एंड इट जस्ट सो हैपेंड दैट ही फॉलोड me 6 months henceforth. And
but generally what we see, people who go abroad for studies, तो वो generally वहीं settle हो जाते हैं, या fashion कितनी बड़ी industry है वहाँ पर. Did this thought ever come across your mind?
I remember we had a lot of friends. There were parties to go to, school was okay, and we had a life in Delhi. But we went to America not to find a life, but to study. ज़्यादातर लोग क्या करते हैं, वो अमेरिका जाके अपनी ज़िंदगी ढूंढते हैं. हमारी ऑलरेडी ज़िंदगी एग्जिस्टेड थी दिल्ली में. जब हम वहाँ गए, हमने प्रोफेशनल अपनी ज़िंदगी शुरू करी. वी गॉट लॉट ऑफ एक्कोलेड्स, पीपल वर रियली इन्वेस्टिंग देयर टाइम इनटू अस. वी हैड प्लम जॉब्स, सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा था. बट आई फील कि एक जो हिंदुस्तानी के जो ब्लड में है ना, एक वो यारी, दोस्ती, प्यार, वो अमेरिका में अगर आप ट्रक भर के डाल भी दो तो नहीं होगा.
That you know, razzmatazz of West never attracted you, that maybe I become, you know, world's top designer XYZ?
No, I feel that you can be world's top designer from any part of the world. You can be in Trinidad, Tobago, West Indies, anywhere. America is just a great opportunity that way to learn, because हर चीज़ वहीं पर होती है. अगर सब लोग एक ही जगह जाके परफॉर्म करेंगे तो परफॉर्मेंस तो अच्छी होगी. I just felt कि इंडिया एक वो ऐसी कंट्री जो एक्सेप्टिंग है. और मैं तंग आ गया था वहाँ लोगों को बताने के लिए कि मैं इंडिया से हूँ. एक तो ये है कि जब भी किसी अंग्रेज से बात करो, वो कहते हैं where are you from? So I'm like, I'm from India, but I had to explain myself every time that I'm from India.
Back in 90s it was different, right?
It was very different. And that time Indians were considered, at least in California, there were two things they were considered. One was that they were doctors, which was a great thing. The other is that they were working in a supermarket. No, supermarket. So I would talk to some people who would, you know, इस तरीके से पूछते थे कि तुम कहाँ काम करते हो?
Exactly.
So they were not aiming towards me being a doctor, but more of a 7-Eleven helper. So I got sick of that, and I felt that at least मैं अपने देश में जाके मुझे ये तो नहीं बताना पड़ेगा कि मैं इंडियन हूँ, मैं इंडिया से हूँ.
Right.
at least.
So you have a firm identity out there, at least if you're in your country.
And I think as a designer, you know, you're always looking for an identity.
Yes.
Or I don't think you can be a world-known designer when you don't have your identity in a foreign country.
Yes.
So that's why at least I came back and.
So basically, close to 99, you started your label.
Yeah.
And initially, what sort of designs you at least conceived to begin with? That, you know, there is a market, there is a gap here, and we need to fill this.
जब मैं वापस आया, शांतनु ने एक यूनिट सेटअप कर रखा था. उसके अंदर वो मेंस के कपड़े शुरू कर रहे थे. एक दो आइडियाज मैंने भेजे वहाँ से. तो उन जब तक मैं पहुँचा, उन्होंने उसी वक्त शुरू किया था. बट मैं जिस जगह से आ रहा था, आई सेड वहाँ तो वेस्टर्न कपड़े हमने बनाने सीखे हैं. आई वांट टू मेक मोर वेस्टर्न क्लोथ्स. बट आई वुड सी जो कस्टमर्स आ रहे हैं, दे वर अबव 40 इयर्स ऑफ एज. अब वो वेस्टर्न कपड़े 1990 2000 में वो साइज ही नहीं आता था. सो आई स्ट्रगल्ड अ लॉट इनिशियली. बट जब तक वो मेरे खून से निकल गया, वेस्टर्न के हो गया भैया, अब हो गया. Then he and I sat down together and I said, I feel that we should do a nice mix.
Yes.
We have to, you know, I've got the Western sensibility from America. I've learnt it and I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I feel the Indians we want to cater to should be a certain age group, like ourselves, which we were between 22 and 26.
And especially that time was very interesting. There's sort of a transition going on generally.
Very tough times. We left America when America was booming. I think everything was going for America. People were migrating into America at that time. The world was, in fact. And India में थोड़ा सा situation 90s में and late 90s में इतना अच्छा नहीं था. So, but we knew it and I knew it कि there is that one profound gap, which is there is over traditionalism in this country. And being in the West and being in America for 5 years, having experienced all nooks and corners के क्या होता है fashion में, generally ecosystem क्या है, I thought कि इंडिया को ग्लोबलाइज करना और उसको एक मॉडर्निस्टिक अप्रोच देना बहुत ज़रूरी है. And that's where I felt that we could market that and we could sort of launch a brand that can spearhead that. तो हमारा शुरुआत से ही थोड़ा स्टीरियोटाइप्स को ब्रेक करना था, ट्रेडिशनल फॉर्म से थोड़ा हटना था, ट्रेडिशन को इंटैक्ट रखना था, लेकिन उसको एक कंस्ट्रक्शन और वेस्टर्न.
How was the fashion scene when you came here? I mean, was it still that Master Ji वाला thought or was it changing?
गिने चुने 5-6 डिजाइनर्स थे उस टाइम.
couturiers थे.
Exactly.
Age group at that point in time was 40 above और हम लोग का टारगेट था 20 to 25, 26. बट हमें पता था कि 20 to 25, 26 8 या 9 साल बाद ज़रूर आएगा हमारे पास, क्योंकि that's what the demographics that we believed in. तो वो जो पहले 4-5 साल की जो एक जर्नी थी, बहुत स्ट्रगल था, बिकॉज हम ब्रांड को बना रहे थे. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स वेयर suddenly in 2001 Lakme India Fashion Week became the first trade forum to showcase fashion talent through designers. And I think वहाँ से मार्केट थोड़ा खुलना शुरू हुआ. एंड 2001 में हम लोगों ने अपना डेब्यू भी किया द लैक्मे इंडिया फैशन वीक और वहाँ से हमारी जर्नी थोड़ी और साफ सुथरी नजर आई.
Yeah. So I think you got an opportunity to feature in Universal Studios show once while you were studying back then.
Universal Studios में हमारा ग्रेजुएशन शो था, जहाँ पर काफ़ी सेलिब्रिटीज आते थे और एक it was like a big ball and this is where we were presenting our collection. मैंने इंडिया के ऊपर एक कलेक्शन करी थी जो ताजमहल से इंस्पायर्ड थी. तो उसको देख के काफ़ी लोगों को ऐसा लगा कि एक अवार्ड दिया जाता है स्टूडेंट को, तो उनको लगा कि मैं वो डिज़ाइनर था जिसको मिल सकता था अवार्ड. सो इट वाज अ ग्रेट मोमेंट.
एंड यू आल्सो गॉट अ स्कॉलरशिप अलोंग विद दैट.
जी स्कॉलरशिप मुझे उस ग्रेजुएशन कलेक्शन के साथ मिली थी. दे वांटेड मी टू डिज़ाइन अ कलेक्शन फॉर देम. So that was a part of the scholarship, that you won that award, you won that scholarship, and you'll be given a chance to make your own collection and put that collection in that store. But while I was preparing for this collection, I found a job and I was so happy in that job कि मेरा ये चल रहा था, but इतना ध्यान नहीं था, because I knew कि लाइफ के अंदर इससे ज़्यादा बड़ी चीज़ें करनी है, क्योंकि a lot of times what happens, students इतने खुश होते हैं इस अपॉर्चुनिटी के कि वो उससे ज़्यादा आगे बढ़ ही नहीं सकते. बट आई रियलाइज कि ज़िंदगी में इससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी चीज़ है.
That must be a tough decision, I'm sure, to leave such a nice opportunity and to move on.
I feel that एक अमेरिका ने एक अपॉर्चुनिटी जो मुझे दी थी कि वो अपना गोल बहुत क्लियर रखने के लिए ज़िंदगी में, बिकॉज वहाँ अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ बहुत हैं. जब वहाँ लोग रिकग्नाइज करते हैं टैलेंट को, तो काफ़ी लोग जुड़ना चाहते हैं आपके साथ. यहाँ पर थोड़ा माहौल अलग होता था उस वक्त. So when this would happen, I would recognize कि इससे ज़्यादा बड़ी चीज़ें कर सकते हैं हम.
आप ने MBA किया, आप एक बिल्कुल डिफरेंट स्ट्रीम से आते थे, तो as a probably a business venture, so does that probably हम उसका श्रेय आपको दे सकते हैं that it was a perfect match of creativity and of a business acumen, which probably some creative heads lack. You know, they lack that business
most
acumen.
creative heads lack,
Yes.
not some.
So tell us about your working relationship.
I think यही एक चीज़ थी जो मुझे it triggered something in me कि I have a talented I always knew that my brother is talented, but जब मैंने इनका यूनिवर्सल स्टूडियोज़ में शो देखा था, I just immediately got some inclination कि ये यहाँ नहीं, ये इंडिया जाएगा, and इसका पूरा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी मैं लेना चाहता था of to sort of market this and nurture a brand that speaks that language. I think gut feeling MBA सिखाता है कि अगर entrepreneur बनना है तो सब कुछ भूल के पहले एक रिस्क लेना चाहिए, जो रिस्क के सिर्फ आपको रिवॉर्ड्स नज़र आते हैं. तो मैंने कभी लॉसेस नहीं सोचे थे. इनफैक्ट मैं ओहायो में था, मिड वेस्ट में, मैं बोर हो गया था उस ज़िंदगी से. मैं LA गया था नौकरी ढूंढने के लिए इनके पास. इसी रीज़न के मे बी फ्रॉम द मिड वेस्ट आई विल गो टू LA एंड एन्जॉय माई लाइफ. बट वहीं से मेरी लाइफ चेंज हुई, मैंने जॉब नहीं लिया और मैं यहाँ आ गया. आई थिंक it's all about being an entrepreneur that has a little bit of a gut feeling and a risk appetite to do something which only can fetch you rewards. And I think वहीं से journey शुरू हुई है और आज इस journey पर है कि बहुत कुछ overlap है. ऐसा नहीं है कि to run a business and to run a brand such as ours right now, that I cannot not be oblivious of what is fashion.
Right.
There is a lot of fashion in me and there's a lot of businessman-like demeanor in him, which has over a period of time only overlapped and made us more clearer in our thoughts.
So to begin with, why did you just step into menwear or probably designing for men initially? Was that well thought or it just happened?
नहीं, कुछ चीज़ें आप प्लान नहीं कर सकते हैं. I think जब शांतनु सेटअप कर रहा था तो उसकी familiarity वही होगी जिसमें वो
he knows about it,
yeah, I mean,
being one himself.
तो ये सेटअप के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जो 3 महीने पहले इन्होंने सेटअप किया था, फेमिलियर थे कि मेंसवेयर मैं थोड़ा तो समझ पाऊंगा उस हद तक कि मुझे कटर चाहिए, ये चाहिए. एंड देन दैट स्टार्टेड. देन साइमल्टेनियसली व्हेन आई केम इन वी डाइवर्सिफाइड एज वेल. बट इट वाज एन इजी मूव टू स्टार्ट सेटिंग अप अ बिजनेस from menswear.
Also उस समय में एक चीज़ था that not many designers had their own stores. कोई flagship stores नहीं होते थे. I think एक small studio से काम करते थे, जैसे कि clientele काफ़ी niche थी. But हम लोग जब when we descended upon India, we said that हमें accessible भी होना है and the only way to do it is to open your own brand stores. And I think वहीं से हम लोगों ने अपना पहला स्टोर खोला 2001 में ही इन अर्चना आर्केड. हमने वो स्टोर ने हमें, बहुत छोटा सा स्टोर था बट प्रोमिनेंट लोकेशन थी. हमारा ब्रांड शांतनु निखिल पहली बार हम लोगों ने उसकी उसकी जिसे कहते हैं नुमाइश करी. एंड वी फेल्ट कि इस स्टोर में अब मेंस नहीं, मेंस और वुमेन दोनों यूनिसेक्स स्टोर होना चाहिए. आई थिंक जैसे
हाउ मच वाज दैट गैप कि अभी आपने मेन वेयर में स्टेप इन किया था और फिर आपने धीरे धीरे females के लिए भी डिजाइन करना शुरू किया? Was it like couple of years or just simultaneously?
It was simultaneous. The moment he stepped in, we also started the women's wear line.
So the store had both. I mean, it happened simultaneously. But there was a lot of learning. See, Shantanu started that because there was a big gap in his, according to his research that he had done, he realized that there was a massive gap in the menswear industry and it doesn't even exist. क्योंकि सारे मेन जाके अपने टेलर से कपड़े बना रहे हैं, हर किस्म के अजीब से कपड़े बन रहे थे. एंड when he sat down and figured this out, then we came to a consensus that okay, let's start the process and I'll come in and we'll keep increasing the categories. And that's what
so what you're talking about is a time when you had a store which had beautiful pieces for men and women, and then there is a transition where you are probably showcasing your collection on a celebrity. Then Bollywood comes in, then a lot of fashion shows are happening. So can you tell us something about that transition?
That process.
2001 में initially, very early in our maybe 1 year into our stepping into India, हम लोगों ने अपना अर्चना आर्केड में एक स्टोर खोला. और 2001 में बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी थी to be a part of this trade forum called the Lakme India Fashion Week, जो कि हर डिज़ाइनर के लिए एक सडनली ड्रीम फोरम बन गया था. मीडिया का इंटीग्रेशन, बाइंग हाउसेस का इंटीग्रेशन, B2B philosophies चालू हो गई, तो B2C से एकदम से gates were opened for B2B, and I thought that we were hungry to be a part of that because सबसे बड़ा platform वही था showcase करने का, and I think from 2001 we started our journey of runway presentations. Along the way we kept on showing our women's and menswear line. Inspirations became stronger, opportunities came along the way. Brand की जो एक perception थी वो सीधा उभर के आने लग गई न्यूज़पेपर्स में, मैगजीन्स में, कि ये कंटेम्प्रेरी डिज़ाइनर्स आए हैं जिन्होंने शायद थोड़ा सा अहेड ऑफ टाइम है, बट लग रहा है कि कुछ नया आ रहा है, and I think that gave us the confidence.
And probably, you know, back in the day it used to be so over the top dresses that everybody just couldn't relate to it, कि ये तो सिर्फ रैंप पे ही अच्छी लगती हैं. But then came in a time probably when you guys came in that you could relate that I can also wear it to a wedding.
For the first 5 or 6 years of even the fashion weeks happening, a lot of couture was being showcased, a lot of creativity was on display. The commercial aspect was still not there, to be very honest. इसको एक बहुत ही ब्रांड अपॉर्चुनिटी माना जाता था कि आप दिखाओ अपनी क्रिएटिविटी. बिजनेस वाज देयर बट इट वाजंट एज बिग, बट इट डेफिनेटली गेव ब्रांडिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज, एंड आई थिंक वी काउंटेड ऑन दैट. हम लोगों ने अपनी स्टोरी टेलिंग, sartorial ways of making people understand what do we do. We took it also creatively from that aspect. We were not right in the product mix that we were doing. We were also humans. We were making mistakes, but we were very sure कि हमारी story telling और एक जो emotional connect जो नज़र आएगा collection में वो strong होगा. And I think from there onwards, the storytelling is what led us to our first very major breakthrough in 2003 and late 2003, early 2004, when we got an opportunity to dress up Mr. Bachchan for KBC2. Star Plus got in touch with us because they saw some menswear of ours on the ramp, which pretty much caught their eye, and वो Star Plus was also wanted to change the perception of KBC2 from KBC1. KBC1 थोड़ा सा formal था, and KBC2 को वो थोड़ा सा accessible mode में लाना चाहते थे, where Mr. Bachchan could be accessible to the audience, and although he did
So how was that experience? You know, suddenly we were seeing him in leather jackets and denims, and it was different from his prim and proper gentleman-like image. So in order to break it, was it tough to convince him, and how was that process?
I remember we met Siddharth Basu, and the brief that was given to us is saying that in KBC1 he was a professor, a mentor. लोग आते थे, उनको समझाते थे कि ऐसे, and KBC2 में वो दोस्त बना के contestants को बात करना चाहते हैं.
So there was an ease.
So उस brief को लेके we met Mr. Bachchan. We had sketches. पहले तो हमने sketches भेजे उनको, तो उन्होंने देखा कि very nice. अब मिलाओ इनको, let's meet. Then we took a few pieces with us, and we told him that Mr. Bachchan अब tie नहीं पहनेंगे आप, so we'll do high collars, wide lapels.
Back to his signature
70s,
style.
80s.
So we did a lot of research on, and he's been an amazing. He's always dressed well.
Yes.
Even in his fight scene where the clothes are getting torn, you know, the collar is in place. So very stylish. We want to bring that guy back. And when we told him that, you know, this is what we are thinking, we want to bring that Mr. Bachchan back, who we've been in love with as we were growing up. So he had a smile on his face. And, you know, वो भी smile भी ऐसे, but a sweet सा smile देते हैं. And that's enough for you to know. That's enough for you to know and catch on कि ये इनको पसंद आया. And then we go back to the drawing board. We put a few pieces together. I remember हम leather मंगा के leather के ऊपर कुछ बना रहे थे. We took it to his changing room in the set, और हमने दिखाया उनको. So, but he just looks at it and he says, you know, and that, you know, is enough. And
then he's happy with it.
Yeah, and you know that he will not say much, but if he doesn't like it, then also he doesn't say much. And then sometimes you're in a confusion. But he told us in the early, when we started out, he said, I don't like brown.
Okay.
Chocolate color मुझे पसंद नहीं है, and brown, those tones I don't like. So we made sure we don't stay in that zone. But yes, we had a lot of fun with him. We pushed him around a little bit, and the beauty of his professionalism is कि वो अगर आप उनके साथ रहो तो वो जानते हैं कि आप प्रोफेशनल हो, and वो आपको इतना दर्जा ज़रूर देंगे कि वो आपको बोलेंगे नहीं कि आप कुछ गलत ही सही कर रहे हो.
Right.
And that very
you must be having something that you're here, you know, in front of him.
Exactly. And वो उस बात को recognize करते हैं. And
I think ये बहुत important moment था हमारी life में, as a designer, as a brand, यहाँ से हमें जो करने का एक इंस्पिरेशन मिला था दैट इफ मिस्टर बच्चन इज इंडोर्सिंग इट, इसके बाद तो दैट मीन्स
अब क्या करें?
वी आर ऑन द राइट ट्रैक.
नो बट वी आल्सो वर इन अ सिचुएशन कि यार अब क्या करें?
No, we have reached here.
अभी इतनी जल्दी ये सब हो गया तो अब कौन रहता है, you know? So that is also situation.
But yeah, very key milestone in our lives goes to Mr. Bachchan, and we've can't thank him enough for giving us this opportunity. And then from there onwards, we also somehow became the first Indian designers to have glamorized cricketers and make them walk on the ramp. So उस समय मोहम्मद कैफ, ज़हीर खान,
Bhaji, we were the first ones to get his hair down.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wore his ponytail and walked the ramp.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. We'll talk more about Bhaji, his style, and obviously Shantanu and Nikhil, but after a short commercial break. Welcome back after the break, and we are still in conversation with the famous fashion designers Shantanu and Nikhil, but before that, history of the day.
Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan appointed his son Aurangzeb the Viceroy of Deccan in 1636. In 1789, the French Revolution started today. The first public demonstration of ice made through refrigeration was in 1850. Indian industrialist and founder of HCL, Shiv Nadar, was born today in 1945. The first color telecast of a sporting event, a horse race, through the CBS channel was broadcast in 1951. Eminent musician Madan Mohan died in 1975. In 2013, the world's last telegram was sent in India. India was the last major country to shut down telegram services on 14 July. New Horizons of NASA became the first spacecraft to reach above the surface of Pluto in 2015.
So we were talking about your work, and so India has so much of diverse culture and different fabrics, different sort of fashion in each state. So how do you incorporate that in your designing?
It's a very good question, and I'll tell you, for a designer who's India origin, it'll take us many lifetimes to cover India.
True.
We are blessed to be born in this country because there is such abundance of design and abundance of heritage. Past 2 years, we focused on the history of India, especially with Mahatma Gandhi and the incidents that took place in India and how Indians get affected positively or negatively. We've taken the positive side of it. We've used the values of the intelligent erudites of this country, the working people who've created the values for this country through design. And ये एक छोटा सा surface है. We've not even scratched the surfaces yet because there are so many interesting things that are happening. Like for example, हमारा जो अगला collection है जो 15th को हम दिखा रहे हैं दिल्ली में Imperial में दिखा रहे हैं, it's called the Regiment. Okay. It is a way of us saying thank you to our armed forces through design. It's our language of what we feel is heroic and how Indian men and women are fighting together for a cause, for India's beliefs and for its values, and we're presenting that through our collection, where men and women are going to stand together tall in the same feeling of patriotism and love for India.
That's very interesting. And like you were recently mentioning about Bhaji and how you were the first ones to dress him up, and then obviously like two of the main things in India is cricket and cinema. So tell us something about your foray into both of these. I think
Mr. Bachchan was the trigger point. Like we said, फिर ये cricketers का ये एक पहला, this was the first time that they were walking the ramp, which just kind of created a furore that even cricketers can be taken on the glamour part and not just on the cricket field. Following that, Serena Williams came in and walked for us when she was here in India. We did a shoot with her for one of the leading magazines, a cover shoot. So suddenly we felt that sports is becoming an inherent part of our design DNA. We tied up with Adidas and we became the third Indian or the third designers in the world to have collaborated on that level. So sports भी था, celebrities भी थे, ऐसा नहीं था कि कोई conscious effort जा रहा था, सिर्फ work. Just the clarity of thoughts in our work and our design probably led to all of this happening.
And I think it's also fair to say कि शांतनु में बचपन से sport खेलते आ रहे हैं. We were on the Delhi State swimming team. We were on the Delhi State tennis team.
So you had an inclination.
Yeah, I mean, so whenever we used to see a sport, we would get very excited, and I think you send that energy out in the universe.
Yes, yes.
Okay, you know, you're
interested in it, so it comes to you.
Yeah. And we play a lot of tennis even today, like 3-4 times a week we play tennis. So it's inevitable. Like Mumbai Indians happened because of that. So we were working with Adidas, and they introduced us to Mumbai Indians, and we designed their first jersey on the second year of their existence, and all of a sudden the team started doing well. So then. It was Mrs. Amani's brainchild to understand the nuance and the importance of design. जब वो इस बात को इतनी गहरे तरीके से समझती हैं वो इस बात को कि she put a lot of effort in design, and automatically the team started doing well.
And, so since you've worked with so many celebrities in your career, who is the most difficult to dress, or who's most fussy about it?
Also, the second milestone in our life after Mr. Bachchan in that sphere was Shilpa Shetty. You know, she gave us a great opportunity.
That's right.
She just won Big Brother in London. It was a huge win for India.
Yes.
She suddenly became a global icon, and then coincidentally she was also walking the green carpet for IFA in London. And then she just asked us to sort of design an emerald green outfit that could go with the green carpet. And we told her that, you know, we don't do gowns. We've done more dresses so far, and we've done more Indian wear, but gowns is something that we haven't done. Well, you know, I believe in you, do it.
Go for it.
And I think from there onwards, the accolades that she got for wearing that, and the freedom that she gave us to go ahead and design, I'll still be wearing it.
So she trusted your
she trusted our instincts because she had seen our work in the past, and she felt that we can go that way. And I think from there onwards, our love for gowns started. More red carpet endorsements started to happen for us. We weren't doing films, but we started doing a collection that was well suited to the red carpet. That's where the red carpet love started, and our understanding of drapes and our understanding of glamour sort of came in. So she's also very, very pivotal to where we are today, and credit to her as well.
Coming back to my question, that since you have worked with so many celebrities, so who's the most tough to handle, or who's most probably really particular about what he or she is wearing?
I think that past 7-8 years, the industry's changed a lot.
Yes.
A lot of the actors today are wearing beautiful clothes. I mean, if you look at Sonam Kapoor, she's become a world icon when it comes to fashion.
Yes.
We have seen in front of our eyes in the past 10 years a lot of average dressers become incredible.
And suddenly it's about you know, wearing nice designer outfits, even with actors.
I must say that most actors today leave the best to the people who do the best job.
Yes.
And therefore there is no friction.
Exactly.
I think wo time chala gaya. It could have happened before 10-15 years ago.
But they're very fussy in their heads.
They only knew कि उन्होंने TV में कुछ देखा होगा कि मुझे यही चाहिए. I think that they've become very malleable now. I mean, we were talking to...
They're also run professionally by, they have their own managers, stylists. So, you know, you're not breaking the barrier straight with the actor anymore. So, you know, if they have the concept in mind, then you go through that conceptual storytelling. And if it fits, then it goes.
Yeah, like I was talking to Shahid a couple of months ago. His stylist had come over, picked up something, and he called up and he says, "Dude, your stuff is amazing. It makes me feel so amazing, so powerful." So, you know, this would not have happened before. पहले I think designer एक personal stylist होता था. And अगर अच्छा भी होता था तब भी ठीक है, नहीं भी होता था तब भी ठीक है.
Kind of for granted.
But now I think it's become a space where a professional is talking to a professional. I think that's the big shift that's happened in the industry.
A big shift is also that the paparazzi has come into picture. There's more red carpet dress. You have to look good as a celebrity, and I think now is the real time for fashion to integrate with films, with other spheres that sort of catch the eye.
We are slipping into a little commercial break before we continue our chat with Shantanu and Nikhil. Welcome back after the break, and we are still in conversation with the famous fashion designers Shantanu and Nikhil. I believe you have even designed for some politicians or some maybe industrialists. So how do you match up their expectations? You know, a celebrity might be demanding something, and a politician or an industrialist must be...
Yeah, we listen to our clients. We treat them all as one, and we give them value in who they are. So whether it's an industrialist, we like to listen to them, hear them out, understand their... So we also spend half an hour or 45 minutes personal time with them before we start making clothes, just to understand where are you in your life, how do you feel about yourself, and that's when we start the work.
Because I guess clothing is also very personal. On one front, it's very, you want to show something to others, but on the other front, it's very personal.
Yeah, also from a fashion perspective, and as fashion designers and as artists, our job and our social responsibility is that as many people wear you, you know. For us, a celebrity is nothing but a real customer, and when you are actually treating your customer to be a celebrity, then everyone else that comes in is also looked into from that perspective. So today I'm not going to get overawed by Johnny Depp or anyone coming to us for dressing. We treat them the way we would treat our clients, and I think that is the most important thing. You have to understand who your consumer is, and everyone else is the same. So whether it's an industrialist or a politician, we've always dealt them as clients.
Yes, you know, when you see someone very powerful, of course, the first few seconds you feel like, wow. But then snap out of it, let's do business. Let's get to work, basically. So I remember meeting Sachin at that cricket stadium. We'd gone for trials for their jacket for Mumbai Indians evening wear. And the first few seconds you're like, wow. But then you know what? If your fitting is not right, you'll be slapped around. So we said, let's get to work. And that's and Shantanu's absolutely right. You know, we treat them like they're clients of ours, and we treat them as humans. We understand their need. We consider ourselves doctors in our business. Until we don't value ourselves of who we are and what value we bring to your life, we're of no value to you.
But still, do you have one celebrity probably you would want to dress one day? Do you have somebody like this?
I think there are many. I mean, since we were growing up, initially, you know, it was Nicole Kidman, then Tom Cruise, and now they're, you know, the age group is changing as we are getting older. I feel that there are, we definitely want a lot of people to wear our clothes. In India, we've been very fortunate. We still haven't seen Shah Rukh wear something of ours, right?
No.
Yeah, so Shah Rukh Khan hasn't worn something of ours.
On the list.
I hope after watching this, I'm sure he's going to be watching this in the morning.
Shah Rukh must be watching us, yes.
And Shah Rukh, if you're watching this, you know, we look forward to dressing you up.
All right. So everybody knows Shantanu, Nikhil, the designers. How are they in their personal lives? We have heard that your wife is a fitness freak, and your wife is into acting, and you even forayed into acting. Did something in 2014. So is that
that's a joke.
But is that a track probably you are considering, or you will in future sometime?
See, I think as a designer, you're always acting.
Yes.
You're playing many roles during your day, as not just as an entrepreneur, but as someone who's creating, you know, and meeting people. My job, a lot of it is in the stores, meeting my clients. So I'm always acting. I don't know who I really am.
It's just a different expression of your creativity.
And I'm very fulfilled with what I do. I don't need to see myself in front of the camera to be appreciated by millions, although it's a nice feeling.
But how was that experience bad?
It was a blip. I mean, it was just like me looking at the camera saying, so I don't think that can really be called acting. It was more like you need an extra, put Nikhil there. And my wife is a theatre actor. She's been performing since she was 6 years of age. So that comes naturally to her. So I'm not going to be acting because I'm acting all the time.
All right.
Yeah, we are very inclusive as a family. We're very close knit. We tend to be spending a lot of time with our kids. I enjoy a lot of sports trips with my kids. I play a lot of tennis, so do my kids, and it just happened to be that my wife also enjoys fitness to a point where it's a very important part of her lifestyle. So
if she wasn't in his life, his stomach would be much bigger. So yeah.
So are your wives also somewhere involved in your creative venture?
You always look for a partnership that inspires you.
Certainly.
And as a person who is in the business of design, it's natural for me to look towards the people you're closest to.
Yeah.
So yes, she inspires me.
What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Your life partner, and whether it's your spouse, your mom, your dad, your children, they're always inspirational to you. They are always the ground, or they form the support system that always prompts you to look up to them. Because if they don't give you those means to do what you're doing, life can be chaotic. So inspirational to me is my wife too.
You guys are also member of Fashion Designing Council of India.
Yes.
So tell us something about that role.
We've had a wonderful experience with the FDCI. I think that I remember when we just came back, we went to a fashion week show first year, and we sat and we watched JJ's show, and we said that we would like to be here, next year.
Yeah.
And we saw the FDCI being formed that year, or maybe it was already formed, but they had a election. So I was an associate member, and I applied for. I put my name as the ballot for election, and I got elected, which was incredible because up till a year ago nobody knew us,
Yes.
And so then we were a part of the FDCI think tank.
Just tell us something about how does FDCI work and what is it like to be there?
So I think FDCI obviously started this whole fashion week frenzy in the country. Suddenly fashion became more viable to consumers, to corporations. They started looking at fashion seriously because there was a complete integration of media and buying houses, etc. So FDCI obviously has a very important role to play when it comes to executing fashion shows, nurturing younger talent, and giving them the platform to showcase. So you see so many newer ranks of designers that are coming across and sort of joining in this bandwagon, which is always good. I call it's the growth enabler. So the more the designers, the better it is. What we just now need to do is to make sure that there is enough organized retail space and enough formulae to get those younger talent to showcase just beyond the fashion weeks. So far so good. It's only been better because we've seen it right from the outset of what fashion week was and where it is heading now. So it's very good.
All right. So now that we have seen your journey and we just heard it from you, now your brand is like established, but how do you keep reinventing it? What's that new thing Shantanu and Nikhil are ready with now?
We're
never satisfied with what we do in life, and I think
we are
that's an inherent
old men.
Certainly not.
We have that inherent quality. We take it. I don't know how people take it, but we never satisfied. So whenever we're doing a show, now we are 17 years into this, and we may have done 200 shows, but this 200th show is nothing but the beginning of our career, is what we think, that if this does not do well, we may not have a journey to look forward to. And I think we've always looked at us like that, which means disruption, innovation becomes key. We try to change direction when the going is good. I think we just have this thing to needle ourselves. So far it's been good. What's going to pan out next is almost like a second innings to what we are doing. We've been known to do minimalistic couture, we've been known to do silhouettes, gowns, but we're taking a slight departure from there. We're sort of just going where masculinity is meeting femininity, where he is, she will become the concept. There will be more focus on gender neutrality, gender equality. You'll have the signature Shantanu Nikhil rape structure, but it'll be more, I would say, austere. Austerity will come in, it'll become more functional. I think that's where the brand is now taking its second leap of faith. And the regiment that we showcase on the 15th of July is a testimony to that new philosophy of ours.
So the designs which we'll be seeing in your coming up show will be
it'll be inspired by men's and women's, and men's will be inspired by women's. So you'll find a great balance between the two.
We brought in subtle shifts of femininity in our menswear some 2.5 years ago, and the men started just loving it.
By which he means we introduced the drape for a man.
The drapes, yeah, we introduced the drapes, we layered it, we brought in a little bit of asymmetry, and we've always been in love with the Nehruvian era. You know, a Nehru collar is our first love affair. Then the second love affair is with the saris and the kind of drapes that we can culminate from a sari. So a sari and a Nehru collar has always inspired us. So this new philosophy or the new direction is nothing but emergence of a Nehru collar meeting a sari drape. And that's what we did with menswear. And a lot of the women that we were surrounded by kept saying that, you know what, why can't I wear a Nehru collar and bring in some masculinity? So I give credit to all my celebrity muses and our consumers and our customers across that gave us the opportunity to explore this. So what you'll see is, you'll see a little bit of sharp tailoring on women's wear with a Nehru collar, love, and then with some feminine drapes and some femininity in men's wear.
You've seen such a major shift in fashion scene from where you started and where you're now. What can you foresee that what will Indian fashion scene would be like in coming years?
I think it's a great time for India. Our Prime Minister Modi has really put us on a global map. It's actually inspiring the world to be focusing on your roots. And we've been focusing on our roots since the past 3 years, more so through our collections. And I think that to make a global Indian brand is not going to be a far cry, and it's not going to be a thought that cannot come true. India is going to produce in the near future a global brand which is going to be a global design brand, a lot like some of the players abroad have done, and I think India is ready for it and the world is ready for that acceptance now.
And that's why we are going back to our roots. So you'll see a lot of India proud stories coming from the Shantanu Nikhil stable. We go back to the Indian history pages. We take out certain moments that inspired us as Indians, mostly could be pre-independence, the Nehruvian era, and just sort of give it the take that we wanted to, and look at the positives of it. And I think that's the journey we are going with.
Well, so many people consider you guys as an inspiration, which you obviously are. But do you have anything, any word of wisdom for young designers who are probably watching us and would want to just take away something from this conversation?
I think young designers, this country has abundance of talent, and we've seen it. We've seen talent coming from Mumbai runways, going into Delhi in Fashion Week runways. I think there's a lot in the offering. What this new fresh talent or the new voice of India, the language, requires a little bit of hand-holding, and that hand-holding can come if there is somebody who can look after the business side of the brand. Let the creative person be creative. Let there be no restrictions on his freedom of thoughts. I think that's where I see that there is a lag. That's where I feel the industry is lagging, is because they don't have enough hand-holding.
And your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so basically you need a Shantanu in your
a
business.
Perfect combination.
If you don't have a Shantanu, go back to a desk job.
So, as a parting note, anything you want to share with our viewers, and for fashion perspective, you want to just give them some tips?
Life is too short, like they always have said, and to enjoy every moment. And when it comes to design, I think it's live in the moment, not focus on what's going to happen in the future.
What's fashion for you, lastly?
Fashion is something that you are close to. As long as you enjoy it, keep enjoying. Don't get, just don't get overwhelmed by it, and don't dig deep into fashion.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to us. We had a great time chatting with both of you. Thank you.
Thanks.
We really hope that all our viewers also had an amazing time here with Shantanu and Nikhil in studios of Doordarshan. I hope that this will make your life a little bit more stylish. Thank you.